Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through fears and live an awesome life. This is a full-time job, breaking through fears and helping others to break through fears. It's usually just a different perspective that maybe somebody needs to really have that light bulb go off, right? For me, it was Eckhart Tolle years ago, and I had experienced an awakening a couple of times, very intense periods of time. And then, of course, it would not be as intense. And then I had an introduction to Eckhart Tolle. Gosh, it was quite a while ago. And another light bulb went off, and I went into a third awakened state that was off the charts. Seriously, when you actually detach from your body. Now, some of you who have never experienced this or could possibly be going, okay, this is crazy stuff. It's only crazy because you haven't experienced it, or it's like until it happens to you, then all of a sudden it has validity and you realize there are things that we just don't know. And we're in such dense bodies, we're told all of these stories about how things are, that there's no other life out there, when they're just freaking, out in the sky saying, here we are, there are people from other planets, there are so many things we see all the time. We don't want to believe all of this stuff, right? And we stay in our little cocoon. So you have to find what speaks to you and then understand that you're going to continually open up your mind to things, and you have to allow that. If you don't allow that, you will move forward in the fear, and things will happen to you that maybe feel different, or you experience things that may be a little bit of out-of-body kind of stuff that is scary. And that's the human race that has clung to this dense thinking, this conformity, that now we are breaking through, and we are breaking through it. I mean, we have so much going on out there. All you have to do is turn on the television and you can see all of the shows that take all of these things very seriously and introduce new concepts and ideas. Now, if you have ever read Dolores Cannon, I've got a cat here. If you've ever read Dolores Cannon, she will definitely open up your mind, and it's pretty much, a mind bender. The things that she introduces through her hypnosis technique. I'm actually certified as a quantum healing hypnosis technique, hypnotist. And that is not the woo-woo, look at the swinging pendulum. It is taking people into explore where their blocks are, where they may be stuck, and really tapping into their subconscious. Well, she did this, and it opened up a completely new world for her that she explored and then thought she knew everything, and then more things came out. What was happening is her patients were going into the subconscious, almost like a third party was speaking. A higher consciousness was speaking to her and would answer pretty much any question about anything. Sorry, some little hairs on floating around. And it really pushed somebody who had an open mind to even push herself further. And I want you to try and do that. Maybe you read some of her books and it'll really push you to think outside the box and realize there are just things that we as humans don't know. But when you start to go into that other unknown realm, when you break through that fear of how things are, what reality is, and you say, you know what, I don't really know. Nobody really has that answers. And what the funny part is? We listen to other people, scientists and all these things, who keep changing their mind and saying, okay, yeah, quantum physics does exist. It is real. So all this stuff that these monks are doing is not just spirituality. They're using quantum physics. It's all the same thing. Spirituality, quantum physics, you can call it science, you can call it spirit, whatever you want. But they don't understand how this works. Even scientists don't understand what all of this is, where it comes from, what its capabilities are. Well, I think you know what its capabilities are. They're limitless. Of course they are. How could there be any limitations to God, to the source? There aren't any. It's just constant creation. I want you to think about that. What would stop you from tapping into that? Well, it's always fear. It's fear. What's on that side? What's on the unknown side? So maybe you take baby steps. You know, you listen to the Eckhart Tolles, and then I listen to Joe Dispenza a lot because he has a very scientific way of looking at things, and I find it very interesting. And Dolores is going to push you even further. And then, of course, when you go into meditation, you got to eliminate the fear. If you want to go into those places where an awakened state will take you, which, by the way, if you're not ready for it, can be a little scary, because it's just a feeling that you probably haven't experienced before if you haven't gone there, where you literally are outside your body. You expand. Your energy has expanded. This is a fact. This is quantum physics. There's an energy field. So when you expand into that energy field, and they can actually measure this, as Joe Dispenza says, we measure it scientifically. They can see the energy that expands out. Your consciousness literally expands out. So what does that mean? That's mega powerful stuff. That means that your consciousness is no longer in here going, I'm afraid I can't pay my bills, I'm going to be alone, how do I get out of this situation? It expands and says, there are no limits, there are all possibilities. Wow, what am I going to do out here? And there's a feeling of euphoria because you've detached from that ego, that density that tells you all these little stories, the fear-based, chatter. So you expand out into that energy. And if you can release that fear and say, okay, whoa, what is this? This is new. I welcome it. I'm like, bring it on. You know, somebody appears, look, show up, man. I'm cool with it. You know, I am cool. There's nothing that can harm me. Nothing. And if you're vibrating at a higher frequency, you're going to experience some higher, beautiful things. If you're in a low frequency, don't be afraid of that either. Seriously, don't be afraid of that. You know, it's the fear that resonates on the lower frequency. So if you go into it and you know you're vibrating at a low frequency, you go into it anyways and push into that clearing of the mind, meditation. If things show up, the negative thinking, whatever, you sit with it, and instead of being afraid of it, go head on. Not battle it, but just say, okay, it's here. I'm not going to keep running from it. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to go into the higher frequency. I'm going to sit with it until this dissipates, until it's, it doesn't have the control over me or as much control. Release the fear. It's okay. What if I experience something that doesn't feel good? It's okay, because you're going to break through that fear and say, this can't hurt me. Nothing can hurt me. They're just feelings. They're feelings, and if you feel like you're going into some other realm that's dangerous, that's okay too. Nothing can harm you. I know you'll hear these stories. Nothing can harm you. Nothing can destroy your energy. You have choice. Nothing else can interfere with your choice. It can try to. You still always have choice. At the end of the day, no matter what that thing does, you still have choices of how you handle it, how you feel about it. So I want you to let go of that fear and go into that unknown realm where all things are possible. So if you go into this space and you start to expand your energy. Now I have a meditation. I'm going to do another one when we're going to expand energy, where I did one where we pull in light. We protect ourselves with light, and we keep that light in. I actually never, at the end of the meditation, we don't get rid of it. We keep pulling it in and we push it out. We pull it in and we push out the negativity, and we keep protecting ourselves with light. You're down your spine, your whole body, you inhale it, it's light. That is real. I know you're thinking, oh, well, it's just my imagination. No, there is no such thing as imagination. Imagination is real. It has fact. It has a real energy to it. So yes, your imagination can actually cause a reaction. It can actually change matter. So, be imaginative in the most positive way. Imagine beautiful things. That changes molecules. Have you ever seen What the Bleep? They actually have glasses of water. They pray over one and scream at and swear at another. And the molecules completely changed. One was black and ugly, and the other one's beautiful and crystallized and expansive. This is you. You're walking around, and everything you think and do is changing every little cell in your body to either expand, retract, die, but nothing can harm you. So get that fear out of your head about anything, because anything can be turned around, and when you let go of the fear, you can go into places that are so beautiful and mystical, and you'll say, whoa, what is this? And maybe you feel like you're floating, and maybe you actually physically see things. Maybe in your mind's eye you see things and you feel like you're not really in your body, and that's the best place you can be, because the body is the density, and when you expand, you are into the quantum field, and when you're in the quantum field, all possibilities start to take place in a positive way, a very positive way. And then you can start to place your order, because you don't have all this thinking and all the garbage and the fear. You're going, wow, okay, what do I want? Let's bring it in. Come on. You know, yeah, I'd like to make more money. Let's do it. You don't have to say how it's going to come in. Don't micromanage your dream life. So, releasing the fear is important. Find those pathways, find those videos, find those people, find those meditations. Do not give up on this. It is a daily practice. Even the teachers do it. There isn't one that doesn't go into meditation for probably hours a day. I meditate probably 2 hours a day now. I was doing 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I'm now 2 hours a day. I go in the morning. I try to do one during the daytime if I can, or at night. Because I want to keep into that expansive space where everything continues to grow and create, and that's where my ideas come from. It's not me. Me is you. We're all sharing that collective consciousness, that space. So drop the fear. It's a barrier to that expansive energy that you can push out as far as you want. Don't be afraid of it. It is beautiful. When you lose that fear, you're going like, whoa, this, woo, wow. Wow, I'm feeling the things that are really out there that are, they're right. They feel right and clear. You'll get clarity. It's wonderful. All right, so practice, 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 and just say, okay, I'm going to drop the fear. Whatever happens, I'm going to go with it. Just go with it. Right? It couldn't be worse than staying in the dense, dark place that you may be going into. All right, sending you light, love, beautiful mystical experiences. What are those? Those are places of, well, exploring and connecting to the mystical, which is the quantum field, which is the one source, which opens up all beautiful opportunities for you. Peace and love, my friend. Namaste.